Every generation thinks it invented progress. New science, new studies, new rules, and they call it moving forward. But here's what it actually is. It's a battlefield, and your mind is the territory. Most people don't know they're in a fight, which means they've already lost. There are only two cultures that are competing for your identity. It's not Republican, it's not Democrat, it's not traditional versus modern. It's God culture or human culture. You don't get a third option. You're already living in one of them. And whichever one you choose, it'll tell you who you are. It'll set your standard. It'll form your children. The question isn't whether culture is shaping your identity, it's which culture is doing the shaping. Now, God culture is built on one idea. There is a standard above you, and your job is to move toward it. Not a standard that shifts with the election cycle, not a standard that gets updated when the science changes. It's a fixed point. That gap, or the gap between what you are by nature and what God designed you to become, that gap is the whole game. You will fall short, but that's not a failure, that's the process. God culture gives you a direction. It gives you protection, because when the standard is above you, you're always reaching, you're always accountable, you're never finished, and that's the point. Now, human culture is built on the opposite idea. You are the standard. Your feelings, your truth, your generation. And when your strongest emotion tells you to move the line, human culture moves it with you. Then it builds a justification around it after the fact and calls that justification progress. But here's the problem. When you are the standard, there is no protection. Nothing above you means nothing to reach for. Nothing to reach for means no real identity. Just whoever you feel like being this season. Human culture doesn't form you, it flatters you. And then it leaves you exactly where you are. Your child is being formed right now, not by your values alone, by whichever culture gets more hours. Every screen in their hand is making a case. Every message that says, you do you. Every trend that says there's no wrong answer. And every idea that says the standard is whatever feels right. That's human culture. And it's not offering your child freedom. It's offering them a battlefield with no armor, an identity with no anchor or fixed point or direction or protection, just feelings dressed up as truth. You can't fight something you haven't named. So here's what you do. When your kid sees something on that screen, pause it. Ask them one question. Is that God culture or is that human culture? And not to lecture them, but to train them to see the battlefield, because the world is teaching them the opposite constantly. Your job isn't to shelter them from the fight. It's to make sure they know they're in one and they know which side they're standing on. Hit that like button and share it.